Hello again, everyone, and welcome back to the educational series from Five Plan Partners. Mark Hume here, and today I want to talk to you about just being prepared for lucky opportunities. We have no idea when certain lucky opportunities will present themselves, but it's a great idea to always be prepared and take advantage of those opportunities when they arise. So let's talk through some different scenarios of what I'm talking about here. I'm going to use one that applies to me personally. I had a vehicle that was running just fine, really hadn't given me a lot of problems. It had a significant amount of mileage on it, and I kind of came to realize that the trade-in value was surprisingly higher than I expected. So I began thinking about trading in that vehicle, even though I'm the kind of person who just likes to run my car into the ground. And so I wound up finding something that fit what we needed for my family, and we traded the vehicle in. And that was in the early fall of 2019. Well, fast forward 6 months later and we're in COVID, right? And so everything's shut down. And then once things begin to open back up, what happens? Something crazy happens to the used car market over the next 12 to 18 months. The prices went through the roof. The inventory was extremely low. I came to realize that after putting 30 or 40,000 miles on my new to me vehicle, that I could trade it in for more than I purchased it for. And that was a really incredible thing to think about. Now, on the flip side, I'd have to go buy something else, right? And again, low inventory and high prices, but it's just an example of where I got kind of lucky on the front end. I didn't necessarily have to be prepared to seize that opportunity, but I was lucky on the front end that I went ahead and made the decision to transition to my next vehicle, because basically the next 2 years it was impossible to find anything that was reasonably priced. Another great example is when you think about home prices. So let's go back to the mid-2000s and the big housing boom, and there was a subprime mortgage crisis underneath it, and obviously that collapsed. We had a very significant recession. What you learn from that situation in hindsight is it wasn't just 2008, 2009 when the stock market was low. There were really wonderful prices on homes and really attractive interest rates for a really long time. Interest rates were kept low. Pricing was really good. We bought a home in 2012 and it had a really fantastic price and a really good interest rate attached to it. And we were in a really good position to make that move from our starter home to that home where we would begin our family. And so we were in a position to take advantage of a still very soft real estate market. That's a really great example of, if you know you want to do something in the near term, being prepared for that with the appropriate amount of liquidity on hand can really help you execute when that opportunity arises. And then finally, we'll talk about different stock market opportunities. So in your 401k, most of you are doing something that's a very good habit. It's called dollar cost averaging. You're making a deposit once or twice a month or every other week, depending on how often you get paid, and you're making your investments in your 401k. And then perhaps you're someone who does a good job of saving money left over at the end of every month, or you're saving off the top and saving as soon as you get your paycheck. And all of a sudden you find yourself with a decent amount of cash accumulated. Now let's put yourself in two different situations. The second half of 2008, the early part of 2009, or in March, April, and May of 2020. Stock market's down significantly. If you're holding some excess cash that you know you don't need for emergencies and any known large expenses over the next couple of years, in hindsight, it was a great opportunity to put that cash to work into the stock market and realize the appreciation as the price of various companies rebounded pretty significantly. You had to be a lot more patient in 2008 to get that money back, because from the top in 2007, it took until 2013 to get back to that top. COVID was pretty unique because it was much more V-shaped, almost down, straight down, and almost straight up. And we recovered sometime in the next several months, 5 or 6 months, if I remember right. But it's a great example of how having cash on the sidelines allows you to take advantage of different opportunities, whether it's a home, whether it's an investment into the stock market, or whether it's picking up that next vehicle because it just is about that time and you see a good deal. Being in a position to take advantage of lucky opportunities can really benefit you over periods of time. So I hope that was helpful and insightful for you today. Appreciate you stopping by, and we look forward to seeing you next time.